All right, welcome, kings and queens. Today we are talking Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. Stay out of Mexico, people. Four American citizens were kidnapped in Mexico last Friday on March 3rd. I am completely taken back by the devastation and the brutality, y'all, that these individuals face in broad daylight. Mexico is so cold with it. People were afraid. I have a video. No one stopped to render aid. This is a whole different kind of a monster. This is a whole different monster. When you talk Mexico, there is no remorse. It is what it is when it comes to Mexico. Let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. On March 3rd, 4 individuals traveled from South Carolina to the border of Mexico. And as soon as they crossed the border, they were met with violence. Latavia Washington, mother of 6, 33 years old. Shaid Woodard, Zendale Brown, and also Eric Williams. Let me see. Yeah, Eric Williams. There were 2 men and 2 women. Latavia Washington, the mother of 6, traveled to South Carolina to undergo a medical procedure. She was going to have a tummy tuck. So her friends accompanied her by way of road trip to this medical facility. They never reached the medical facility. So there's a couple of things like we do over here. When we cover anything, we like to stay organized if we can. I want to cover 4 things. The cartel. Number 2, money grab. Number 3, doctor. Number 4, the FBI. Let's talk about it. All right. So although Mexico is a popular place for medical tourism where women, particularly women, African American women, go for cheaper medical procedures, they traveled to Matamoros, Mexico, which is not considered a primary medical travel destination. So when we think about premier medical clinics, this was not considered one of them. I'm just giving you a little bit more information because I think the more informed you are, the better you can digest some of this and why. So this was actually Latavia's second time going to Mexico for a medical procedure. She traveled there before about 2 to 3 years ago, okay, according to her friend. And that would lead me to believe that Latavia felt safe based on her previous experience of traveling. Now, they allegedly drove from South Carolina to Brownsville, Texas for a medical procedure, and they booked a hotel in Brownsville. Y'all, that's a 19, almost 20-hour drive, which leads me to believe these people felt safe. Not only did they feel safe, they probably felt like they established a really solid rapport with the doctor's office, who I'm looking at sideways anyway, okay? According to official reports, on the way there, the group got lost. Pay close attention. The group got lost and attempted to communicate with the doctor's office to be like, hold up, wait a minute. Do we have the right address? Where are you sending us? And it looks like the doctor may have asked them, are you using like a GPS? This is where we are. And according to the doctor's office, we sent them the address. Okay. Trust nothing. Mexico. From doctors to anyone. Mexico is a transactional country, primarily run by the drug cartel. Okay. So I'm already looking at this doctor's office sideways. Before I get into my opinion, let me shift to the cartel. Everything we can assume. Okay, we wouldn't be too far off if we made an assumption. Everything Mexico is run by the cartel. And based on the video that I'm going to show you, that was definitely the cartel that attacked them in broad daylight. No fear, people. Absolutely no fear whatsoever. That attacked them, killed one of them on sight, and actually killed another Mexican citizen, an innocent bystander. Now, here's what I don't like about media reports. When we label the Mexican citizen as an innocent bystander, all of them were innocent. Okay, so let's get that out. Let's level set right there and get that out of the way. They were all innocent. Pay very close attention with little innuendos, different terminologies and descriptions that you see in these media reports. It's a subconscious bias, just FYI. A lot of this is coming anonymously from Mexican officials, y'all, because they're scared. These people know they put their lives on the line when they speak out, okay? So we're lucky that we got what we got by way of all of these reports. Now, let's shift and talk about money grab. Why do I think this was a money grab? After researching this case and getting all of the details that I have, I feel very, very strongly that Mexico and the FBI have no intention of prosecuting the Shanquella Robinson case. Let me get back on track and then I'll share my thoughts around that. I feel like this, number two, my second point, this was a money grab. Mexico is a transactional country. You want something, you pay for something, okay? I feel like this was a setup by the doctor's office on 4 Black Americans, particularly Latavia. I don't know the price tag that was associated with the medical procedure, the tummy tuck that she was going to have. But I guarantee you one thing. If I know what I know about Mexico, they probably told her, we only accept cash. In my opinion, I feel like this was a money grab because I feel like the cartel were tipped off that 4 Black Americans, or at least one, right? They knew Latavia was coming. I tell you what, I think they knew everybody was coming. Let me back up a little bit. When you're having medical procedures and you go underneath anesthesia, the first thing they tell you is you cannot drive yourself, and they want to know who will be accompanying you, who will be coming with you to your surgery, who will be driving you home, and we need a list of their names. That's how it normally works when it comes to surgery. So I think they knew from jump. That 4 African Americans were coming. Okay. Number 2, what they're trying to say is they feel like they were targeted by the cartel. However, they may have mistaken them for Haitian drug dealers. Stop playing with me, Mexico. Y'all have already played in our face once when it comes to Shanquella. We won't let you do it again. You know damn well they were not Haitian drug dealers for the simple fact you had her medical profile. You knew who was coming with her. You knew she was coming from South Carolina. You can't just do surgery on a patient without gathering all of their demographic information. So I call bullshit on that. That's why I feel like that was a money grab. Not only did they take their lives, but they took whatever cash she had on her. Third point, the doctor. We want to know who the doctor is and was, because it's funny to me that all of a sudden, the address that you gave her, she couldn't pull it up on her GPS. Okay? Now, one thing about us, we don't go anywhere unprepared. So I know that group did everything in their power to find the right place. They weren't just driving to Mexico, y'all. Who jumps in a car to drive 20 hours and not know where they're going? I feel like that doctor may have given them the wrong address. So let me back up. Earlier, I said that she went to Mexico before. Maybe this was her first time with this particular facility. Maybe she did not go to this facility if she got lost. But whatever address that doctor gave her was the wrong address. Do you see why I see this was a setup from start? They communicated with the doctor's office. And all of a sudden, now you're communicating with her via text. What doctor do you know communicates with you via text, right? So when they went missing, her friend didn't hear from them after a day. Her friend was like, oh, hell no, something's up. So her friend reached out to the doctor's office, and then the doctor's office told her friend, oh, that Latavia had reached out to them to ask for directions because she was lost. And then the doctor's office sent a screenshot of the messages that they sent her the address and asked if she was using a GPS. Now, my thing is, why are you communicating with your patients via text outside of a formal telephonic call or a medical portal? I don't know any doctors that text. That's number one. Now, here's the thing, what I'm saying. Is that even a real medical facility? I don't know the name of it, because according to reports, Matamoros is not considered a primary medical travel destination. Nobody goes there for medical procedures. Not nobody, but very few people for medical procedures, to not be confused with prescription meds. Okay. So who pointed her in that direction? Number one. Number two, we need to begin to connect the dots with that doctor's office. I feel like they played a huge part in that. And it could be I forgot the name of it, a front for the cartel. Okay. It could be a front to lure people in, number one, for organ harvesting, or number two, to rob innocent American citizens. That's all I have on a doctor. All right. So I want to talk about the FBI. I did an update on Shanquella Robinson, I think 2 days ago. And I feel like this case, Shanquella's case, is at a standstill from both an FBI perspective and from the Mexican government. Some of you challenged me on it. The FBI can do what it chooses to do when it chooses to do what it does. In my opinion, I understand there are legalities, but I'm talking about when there's an urgent need. And I don't feel like that energy was placed behind the case of Shanquella Robinson. Now, when it comes to this case with the 4 American citizens, 2 are dead, 2 are alive. 1 is in extreme critical condition, okay? The 2 surviving Americans are in the care of the FBI and have returned to the United States for medical treatment. Not only that, both the Mexican officials and the FBI are working together for people to come forth with any additional details and or information they have. And they have put a price tag on it. They have put $50,000 on this case. That's a hell of a lot of money in Mexico. Now imagine if the same thing, the same step, the same strategies were initiated on the behalf of Shanquella Robinson. And that's why I strongly believe that the Shanquella Robinson case is not as cut and dry as they want us to believe with what we saw on camera. I think there was so much more to it. I think there are complexities to it. And I think they'd rather sweep it under the rug than expose the different hands that were present at the table. They have said regarding this case of the 4 Americans that they were indeed targeted by the Mexican cartel. Okay. Now you say, okay, well, what's the similarities in that? Somebody who knew. Let's start there. Who knew that these people were coming? Somebody had to give the cartel that information. And then if we jump back to the Shanquella Robinson case, Shanquella had alleged between $10,000 to $17,000 in cash, right, on her just for a weekend vacation. We're not even talking medical procedure. Nobody does that, y'all. Don't nobody want to take cash to Mexico because we already understand the risk that, wait a minute, you don't trust nobody in Mexico because it will be a money grab. They will go all through your luggage, from the maid to the bellboy to everybody. It is what it is. That's just the way things work in Mexico. Okay. Now let's get back to this case. One member of the group died at the scene. He was shot. 2 ladies and another gentleman were placed in the back of the truck. Okay. So of the 4, 2 are deceased. When they were found in Mexico, let me back up. As I'm thinking about it, I can't help but to think, why would they kill 2 and not 4? I want to know more detail. And maybe that's why the FBI and the Mexican government have put a $50,000 price tag on it. I want to know why. I want to know more. Because the cartel is ruthless. They spare nobody. But it goes back to who knew they were coming. I believe it was a setup. It's an unfortunate setup. But now we know that Mexico is no longer safe for us. Okay? We've got to stay out of Mexico. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Prayers to this family. And I really hope that we're able to get to the bottom of this by way of the FBI and the Mexican government working together.